Welcome to Stars Global Vision TV. Today's video, I'm gonna bring you another intelligent African soul learning forced into slavery. Check out my previous video about Abubakar al-Shiddiq Sharif, who was sold and enforced into slavery in Jamaica. But today's edition is gonna be about Ayuba Suleyman Diallo. Ayuba Suleyman Diallo was born in 1701 in Bundu, Senegal, to a prominent Fulani family. Ayuba was the grandson of the scholar that founded the town of Bundu and the son of Suleyman Diallo, a religious and political leader as well as an affluent trader. He grew up like most other Fulani gentry, studying the Quran, which he memorized, and mastering the Islamic sciences and Arabic language. In 1730, while on a trade mission to the coast, the 29 years old Diallo was kidnapped, sold into slavery, and taken to America. Upon arrival, he was purchased by Mr. Tulsi of Kent Island, Maryland, and put to work in the tobacco fields. After they quickly discovered he was unsuitable for such labor, he was placed in charge of the cattle, a tax farm of feeding, as Fulanis were and are still known to this day for being nomadic and cow herders and cattle rearers. While in captivity, he would always go to the woods to pray until he was discovered by a child who proceeded to throw dirt on him. A turn of events that immediately compelled his decision to run away. Runaway slave. Sadly, he was captured and imprisoned at the Kent County Courthouse. At the courthouse, in a surprising twist of fate, he came into contact with a lawyer and Anglican priest named Thomas Blewett, who was impressed by Ayuba's ability to write in Arabic. Blewett writes, "Upon our talking and making sounds to him, he wrote a line or two before us, and when he read it, pronounced the words Allah and Muhammad, by which and his refusing a glass of wine we offered him. He perceived that he was a Mohammedan, but could not imagine of what country he was, how he got thither, for by his available courage and the easy composure of his countenance, he will perceive he was no common slave." Ignorant of the deep history of Islam in Africa, they could not understand how he was able to read and write Arabic, and therefore they asked him to write a letter in Arabic to Africa in order to try and discover who he truly was. The letter was instead sent to the office of James Oglethorpe, director of the Royal African Company, who, after having the letter authenticated by John Gagnier, the Lord and Chair of Arabic at the University of Oxford, who purchased Ayuba for £45 sterling and ordered him to be transported immediately to the United Kingdom. When he arrived in England, he was put to work in the British Library, organizing its Arabic manuscript. Because of this role, he became very famous among English high society, who found his sharp intelligence and highly cultured demeanor a fascinating oddity. This then led to his portrait being painted in 1733 by William Howard, a renowned English painter, which he titled The Fortunate Slave. This painting marked a turning point in the history of Western art, as before this portrait, all previous painting or pictorial representation of slaves and people of African descent usually depicted them as slaves, usually depicted them as evil, usually depicted them as dangerous, usually depicted them as uncivilized human. In the portrait, Ayuba Suleyman Diallo is painted with a large red rectangular leather object around his neck, which was in fact one of the Quran that is scribed from memory. He had memorized the Quran at an early age and wrote this copy to wear around his neck, intending to always have the holy book with him. His popularity among the circles and intellectuals of the British elite contributed to many failed attempts to convert him to Christianity. hopeful missionaries who engaged him in debate concerning the Trinity and prophethood and divine nature of Jesus Christ, topic he was well equipped for by the in-depth education he had received in Senegal. Eventually, in 1734, at the age of 34, after a little under 5 years in slavery, he was allowed to return back to Africa, arriving first in the Gambia and then returning to his homeland, where he reunited with his family in Senegal. Hence the title, The Fortunate Slave, acted as both ignorant insult and ironic premonition, an interaction with the auspicious that unfortunately did not apply to many of his counterparts. Make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel for more history. Intelligent black men sold and enforced into slavery.